Alright guys, I got some exciting news. I have been doing some work on Mob Tools, one of my old mods, and I've gotten it decently far. I've gotten the ingots and the swords. And it works a little bit different from the original Mob Tools, if you remember it. It didn't get too popular, but that's why I'm rewriting it. I've come a long way as a developer, and I think that this mod deserves a rewrite. So let's get into it. I'll just show you the basics, which are lined out already. So you want to make your infusing furnace, and this is what you're going to use to make your mob tools. So here we have just a regular infusing furnace. Now, these do not take fuel. However, you're going to see it's going to take a really long time if you don't have it set up. So instead of using fuel, you're going to draw upon sort of magical based powers of things around you. So we're going to let that go, and we're going to go over to this one. This one is much more set up. You can see it's got the bookshelves, which are drawing knowledge in for it, and these skulls provide a lot for the speed. And I think you'll see that this one is just a little bit faster. Yeah, a lot faster. The ingots, they'll have their own purpose and time, but instead of crafting a sword like you would normally craft a sword, you're going to want to grab yourself an iron sword. And I want to make a creepium sword. So there we go. We infuse the iron sword with the essence of a creeper, which is gunpowder. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for the other mob swords that I have, and we're going to see what all these swords can do. And there we go. And one more for the blaze one. And here we go. So let's play around with these things a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and jump out of peaceful, and let's spawn some slimes, because this is a fun way to demonstrate it. So let's get this guy. Oh, that's a good one. So let's jump into survival. And he's going to come at me. Now if I right click with this sword, it creates a little explosion. Let's see what kind of a range is on this. It's a pretty good range. So if you ever wanted to feel like a creeper, go in there with this sword and give it a right click. Doesn't destroy blocks, doesn't hurt you, but it does take a pretty big chunk out of the durability. Now this next one is the indium sword. And I guess everyone's going to know this, but if you right click, you're going to teleport around like a Enderman. Pretty simple. It'll take you randomly within 15 blocks. So that one's pretty easy. This next one, I'm going to have to pop into third person to show you this. Oh, that's the wrong button. So here we go. If I shift and right click, now I'm invisible. And it's got a very satisfying pop noise. Now it does take durability, so keep that in mind when you're doing that. And there's a bit of an issue that you might run into is if you turn invisible and your sword breaks, well, you're invisible. So you might want to craft yourself a new one so you can see yourself again. Now this could be used to be very sneaky, and I'm probably going to write it so that if you don't have the sword in your hand, you won't be invisible. However, right now, you just remain invisible. So there's that. The last one, it's a little bit different. I always get those buttons mixed up. So the function that I wanted to give this, I'm going to give later in another item. So don't worry, there's going to be fireball functions and all that. It'll be really fun. But for now, this tool serves a distinct purpose of putting you out when you're on fire, because I am not going to support armor in the mod now. It does not fit with the whole theme. So here we go. Shift right click, you're extinguished. Let's get on fire, shift right click, and we're good. So if you got this thing and you want to go sneaking around, I guess you can't do it constantly, but that will prevent you from burning up. So if you're in a cave and you fall in lava and you're burning, shift right click and you're done. So that's about what that does. And as you would suspect, this lights things on fire. So let's grab ourselves something to light on fire. How about a cow or a villager? Same thing. Okay, let's hit him. And he's on fire. The other ones don't do anything fancy at the moment. They have varying attack power, with the creeper sword having a slight edge. It's no longer the one-hit KO that was in the last mod, but that is because you can do this AoE attack. So it's actually pretty fun. I particularly like it to take out slimes because you can take out the whole area around you. And who doesn't want to go around causing explosions, being the creeper they've always wanted to be? So, for instance, let's make some indium ingots. Yay. And these textures are from the old mod, so it'll still look very similar. However, it is completely rewritten from the ground up. I deleted the code for the last one. It's on my GitHub, so I can always get it back if I need it. And I started from scratch. And something that's nice is from the get-go, this contains a version checker. So, if you get a version and I decide I want to add in some more content, you will be notified of it as soon as I upload it, which is nice, and it's something that I just implemented in my modular furnace mod. So that's about all I've gotten done so far. I have a little tab for it, I have all this stuff set up, and I'm going to move on to the pickaxes next. And the pickaxes, of course, the blaze is going to auto smelt, the creeper is going to take out chunks at once, things like that that you would normally expect. And I'm going to continue this for all of the tool sets. Shovels, I guess I can figure out something to do with hose, and we're going to continue on through that. But as a general rule, the theme I have behind each of these sets is the creeper is very powerful, but has very low durability, so it's going to do large things. It's your powerhouse, so chunks of things, explosions, all that fun stuff. That's the theme we're going for here. The indium is going to be strong. It's very durable, and it's probably going to have some neat little fun things, but nothing too terribly fancy about them, just that it lasts a very long time and does a decent amount of attack. This one is going to be very magical. As you can tell, it turns you invisible, so that's one thing. All of them are going to do magic things. They're highly enchantable. Their durability is decent. It's a little better than iron. And the enchantability is really the one thing that sets it apart. Perhaps there's going to be other things in the future that I'll do with it, but I'm not sure yet. And the blaze, of course, is going to be very focused on fire and heat. So as you can see, you hit something and it lights it on fire, and it's going to auto-smelt when you have the pickaxe. But other than that, that is the main idea behind the mod, or the 4 toolsets. I may extend onto the wither later, however I don't believe it's something that will fit in too well because of its sheer power. And you wouldn't just go putting a wither star in here and boom, infusing it. It'd be more of a deal than that. So when you're building this, this has a range of 2 from the center. So you can build here, here, over here. If you put a bookshelf or a skull, it's going to increase the speed at which this cooks. So you get free fuel, but you have to provide it with, world objects. In the future, I'd like to have particles like the bookshelf go into it, so it kind of looks like it's feeding it. But I'm not to that point yet, and it's not very high on the list of things to do. Obviously, you got to get it working first. So that's the update. I just wanted to let you guys know that it is being worked on, and the progress is fairly fast. I've gotten this done in about 3 days while doing school and things like that. So, if you want to keep getting updates on this, subscribe. If you like the video, give it a like, all that normal stuff that you're going to see on every YouTube channel. Other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you will follow the progress of Mob Tools.